Hi, Cindy. Are you ready to start back to school next week?
Oh, I guess so, Jennifer, but I am really stressing over the professional learning that I am supposed to do Monday afternoon. I am supposed to talk about differentiation. I want to model some examples, but I cannot think of 60 different things for teachers to do.
Hey, wait a minute, Cindy. Differentiation does not mean that everyone has to do something different.
It doesn't? Are you sure? I thought you needed to have a different activity for every student in a classroom to show differentiation.
No, that is individualized instruction. That is not the same thing as differentiation. Sometimes you individualize instruction for some students, but not always.
Really? That's good to know. Well, I will have to come up with some easy assignments and some more challenging assignments to show differentiation. That's going to be hard to do.
No, Cindy, that's not really differentiation either. Differentiated instruction doesn't mean we make learning easier for students. Everyone must achieve the same standards.
Gee, Jennifer, I am starting to think that I really do not know what differentiation is. How will I teach teachers? Mr. Christian will think I'm an idiot. I will lose my job.
Now, Cindy, didn't your teachers ever differentiate for you when you were in school? I know that was a long time ago, but I am sure they did even then.
Well, let me think. Maybe. Sometimes we got to work in groups, and sometimes we got to choose the assignment. And some teachers gave us multiple examples and extra time. Come to think of it, I don't think anyone got less work to do, maybe just different work. I struggled in math, so my best teachers explained concepts in different ways.
Yeah, Cindy. I think you are starting to understand differentiation. Great.
Really? Maybe I can do this after all. Even though I struggled in math, through differentiation from my teachers, I actually exempted freshman math in college. It worked for me. Jennifer, will you help me come up with some examples that I can share with our Rome middle school teachers so that they can be successful with differentiation too?
Sure, Cindy. I think that together we can come up with some really helpful information for our teachers to start off the school year on a positive note.
Let's start with a definition for differentiation that is easy to understand and simple to remember. I know, differentiation is a teacher's proactive response to learner needs.
There are some key components of differentiation that we should mention too, like a positive learning environment, quality curriculum, and assessments that inform instruction.
Yes, assessments are really a key component, especially with such high-stakes testing these days impacting teachers' evaluations. We could spend a few hours discussing assessments.
Absolutely. You did a book study on Fair Isn't Always Equal by Rick Wormley a few years ago. Don't you still have copies of that?
Oh my goodness! Yes, I do. And I have several more resources too, including Tomlinson's new book Assessment and Student Success in a Differentiated Classroom.
See, this is going to be a piece of cake.
Okay, so what is next? We have a definition of differentiation and some of the guiding principles. What are ways teachers can differentiate?
Well, first there is content or the actual information and ideas that students must know to master standards.
Okay, that would be like using a different text like the ones I bought for science and social studies teachers to use to supplement their content. ELA teachers have alternate texts to use also.
Okay, the next way to differentiate is through process or how students take in and make sense of the content.
Well, I did professional learning last year on using thinking maps across the curriculum, and there are many ways to use technology to differentiate process.
Yes, teachers love their new smart boards. They make differentiating process so easy. Teachers can do much more than just show PowerPoint presentations while students take notes. See, Cindy, you have already done a lot of work to prepare teachers to differentiate instruction. We will just need to be sure our new teachers get the training they need to. In addition to content and process, teachers can differentiate the product. This is how students show what they know and understand and can do with the content they have learned.
Well, that should be the easiest thing for teachers to differentiate. We have already worked on writing good performance task-based units, but there is a lot of really good information out there now on assessments. I should plan to do some professional learning around making good formative and summative assessments.
Yes, Grading is also something that teachers struggle with when thinking about differentiation. I could help you put together something to help teachers with this.
But basically teachers need to know that they must vary their types of assessments. Tests are only one way to measure what a student knows, understands, and can do with content. Maybe looking at types of assessments would be a good place for everyone to start with differentiation to be sure that a variety of performance tasks are being used with each unit. I have a brand new book from ASCD called Grade Smarter Not Harder. We could use that and Ken O'Connor's book to put together something really good if teachers are interested.
Yes, I agree with that. And then the final component of differentiation is the environment or the climate and tone of the classroom.
Oh, I have been reading 2 excellent books this summer that help address classroom climate. One is Never Work Harder Than Your Students and Other Principles of Great Teaching. The other one is Hanging in Strategies for Teaching the Students Who Challenge Us Most. Students want to be affirmed, want to make a contribution, want to see a purpose for what they do and feel that learning will be useful to them, and want to be challenged.
Teachers are the weather makers in the classroom. A teacher's emotional connection with a student is a critical component to academic growth.
In a differentiated classroom, the teacher has to make the classroom work for each student. That is really hard to do for those challenging students. Classrooms have to have predictable rules and expectations and be a place where all students feel secure, especially those who do not have safe and secure home environments.
Yes, without a doubt, the teacher is the most decisive element in the classroom. Teachers have tremendous power to make a child's life joyous or miserable.
Okay, we have covered the principles of differentiation and the different ways a teacher can differentiate. So on what does a teacher base differentiation?
Some students are obviously more needy than others, but all students benefit from differentiated instruction. Teachers need to look at readiness, interests, and learning profiles.
So this is why assessments are so critical for differentiation. Teachers need to know a student's proximity to a particular learning goal to know what instructional strategy to use. Then, a teacher needs to be attuned to students' passions and motivations to learn. Finally, it is important for teachers to know how students learn best.
Yes, Cindy, and teachers should always be teaching up for all students so that performance goals that were once thought to be reachable by only a few, become reasonable for all.
Yes, always teach to the top and provide scaffolding when needed. That is also the heart of the rigor of Common Core. Yeah! I am feeling so much better about this presentation on differentiation. Thank you so much for helping me, Jennifer.
That's what coaches are for. We differentiate too.